Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Stockbridge Board of Assessors meeting for Monday, July the 21st. Mike?
Good morning. Okay, first and foremost, you have to approve the last meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the last meeting minutes. All those in favor? Aye.
We got an email number 2. Kind of got a little scared when I saw this. I don't know if you got it too, Brandy, maybe.
Yeah, our new rep.
Yeah, now correct me if I'm wrong, that's for tax rate setting, right? It's not for Bureau of Local Assessment like Joe Barberi being replaced.
Right, it's Jim Dolan.
It's Jim Podolak. Okay, so our new rep is Nicholas Cantella. Will be your new Bureau of Accounts field representative, because I haven't talked to Joe in a bit. I'm sure he would have called me and said, oh, by the way, I no longer have your community. So because I can remember last year when we were setting the tax rate, were we still dealing with Jim
No,
Podolak?
we had Matthew,
Matt, that's right.
like interim.
Okay, so now we have someone that is dedicated now. We have a dedicated rep for our tax rate process, so hopefully everything will go smooth. Well, I mean, not that it doesn't, but at least we've got someone in who's assigned to us. Number 3, I did get the 3 appraisals back from RRC for the 504 utility companies. I did send a reminder that we needed these. Berkshire Gas, Mass Electric, and NSTAR. And I'll just go quickly over the FY25 versus the FY26 difference. And again, we do pay. This is where that $4,000 fee comes in for the 3 appraisals. FY25 for Berkshire Gas was $3,762,562. The FY26 value is $3,619,867. It's a difference of minus $142,695. Not huge. I mean, they fluctuate from year to year. New growth on that actually went up. 380,738. That was around 200,000 last year. Mass Electric fiscal 25 was 15,359,680. FY26 is 15,711,696. So it's a difference of 352,016. New growth is, it's a good new growth number, 811,000. That one, and NSTAR being our tiniest, which is also same name for Eversource. Last year it was 4,921. This year it is 11,532. So that one went up 6,611. And the reported new growth is only $682, but at least it's something. So if you're okay with these, I went over them quickly. I don't think Joe Barberi will have an issue. I'm fine with these, and with the new growth, if you guys are okay with them. And
Do you need a motion or anything?
No, unless you want to, and that way I can go back and tell Brian at RRC that we reviewed them and you're okay with them, and we can go ahead and pay them. So if you want
I'll make
to.
a motion that we accept the appraisals as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Yes. Number 4, at the last meeting that we had, I mentioned that I was finished with the FY26 new growth, which is basically the all the new homes additions, anything we picked up that it will change valuation. I started on Friday going over the record cards for the FY26 sales analysis, and just a little tidbit of info. I think I may have to use, and I don't usually like to use more than 1 year's worth of sales data. You have to have 2% of each class for your number of sales, and that amounts to about 22 sales in the 101s, because that's really our main category. We have 26, which is low. You know, I mean, I don't want to speculate about where the market is right now until I'm done with the sales analysis, but since the last reval that we did for FY 23, we've used 1 year's worth of sales data. We've always had at least 30 or 35 101 sales. So the idea that we're gonna only use 26 when I still need a little bit of wiggle room for some that might be outliers, because we're in that first step, could possibly bring us down to just the bare minimum. So I may have to use 2 years worth of sales. So what I'm doing is going through all of last year's sales again, making sure that I updated, got new pictures, got everything, so that data is good going into the sales analysis because, and again, it's completely up to us. That would give us, well into 40 sales or more. And their last year's aren't going to change that much because it was last year. So they're pretty much right in line because we adjust our values every year. I don't know if that would send up a red flag at DOR. For me, the only thing it says is that the market is cooling and we don't have as many sales as we typically do. I had been using, since I started here way back in the 90s, 2 years worth of sales until we got into,
The pandemic.
yep. Yes, where there were tons and tons. So I'm, just an indication of maybe the market is slowing.
And it looks to me like there's a lot of houses for sale.
There are,
Yeah.
there's a lot for sale signs out
All
there.
around Berkshire County.
Yeah.
And so inventory is there, the actual activity. We don't really look at calendar year 2025 sales until next year, but obviously when we get the sales and in the deeds, we do look at them. I look to see where the valuations are on those. And I think I may drop DOR a line, email asking if it's possible to use 18 months of sales instead of 2 years worth of sales, or go 6 months into this year and use all of last year's, or use all of 2024 and only use 6 months worth of 2023. I really don't like using sales that we've already analyzed. No assessor does, but in this case, to get comfortable where, we're not worrying about having outliers for this year taken out, I think I may run the sales analysis using 2 years and see where we are. And then when I submit, Joe usually says, well, let's run it in 1 year and see where you are. And if it doesn't comply, then we're just gonna go with the 2 anyway. But I just want to inform you guys that this is the first time this has happened in a while that we're faced with using a couple years of sales instead of just one. We're getting so comfortable with having far, into the 30s, 40s worth of sales data for the 101s. We have no data for commercial sales, so we're not going to make any adjustments there. This is really more about the 101s this time, and anyone that's paying attention to the market will see that there is a change that's happening. We're still getting, the sales that we're getting are still a lot higher than the assessed value. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And we're starting to see a little bit of weakening in the number of sales. Will it change next year? I'm not sure. I'm just going to deal with what we're facing this year. Not a huge panic. It's just that it's always nice to just have fresh sales that you're using for 1 year. But in our world and in such a small community where there's not a lot of sales, this is what you come up against. I just wanted to throw it out there so you guys are aware of it. And that's,
Realtor.com has 29 houses for sale. So
yeah, it's a lot. That is a lot. And you don't really hear now about these overnight quick sales. They are staying on the market a lot longer.
well, it says
And-
pending a lot.
Yes,
So I don't know what the
yep. Rates are
rates are.
not
Money's
coming
tight-
down,
money's
so-
tight or what, or
absolutely. It's an indication. I mean, there's going to be an adjustment coming somehow in the market, and I think we're seeing it now. And that's all I have. We do have to go into executive session. Although,
Zoom, Tim.
Although with executive session though, because this is something that you're gonna be, I thought we would be voting on, or you guys would be voting on the Waldorf High School exemption. But I don't know if that's something that you want to wait for Doug to be here for. I mean, I would say let's go into executive session to discuss, because I did do an inspection and there are things that I want to talk about. And then you guys can decide what you want to do, if you want to postpone to the next meeting.
Sounds good. So there's no one on Zoom, so I would entertain a motion to close our portion of the public meeting and go into executive session as per Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7. And we are gonna, as Mike said just now, discuss exemptions for the Waldorf High School. And when we're done with that, we will not return to our public session and we will just adjourn after that. So
So moved.
all those in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.